how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody is fabulous. So, in today's fabulous tutorial, we are going to be making a lantern out of picture frames. Now, this is not my idea. I know this is not my idea because there's a lot of people who have done these on YouTube and there's a lot of people who have done these on Pinterest. Now, I haven't seen the ones that do it on YouTube. I have seen them on Pinterest and they direct you to the videos, but I didn't really need to look at the way they were doing them because I'm pretty sure that it's pretty simple. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. So we're going to go ahead and grab 4 of these little bad boys and we're going to go ahead and paint them white. And then we're going to go ahead and distress them because this is going to be the vocal centerpiece for our table for this Thanksgiving. And I'm going to kind of make it more like a little fallish lantern. And we're going to put a little fake candle in there, those battery operated ones. And it's going to be fabulous. I'm serious, guys. So this is a super easy little way to do kind of like a little centerpiece for your table. And let's not waste any more time, guys, because I know you guys want to get down and dirty, boo-boo. So let's get down and dirty. And once we finish this, we'll be able to move on to our next tutorial, which will be putting the table together. And then once we put the table together, guys, I mean, hello, it's going to be all fun from there because you guys are going to see how simple it is to make a beautiful, beautiful table setting for your dinner party or your dinner gathering or your Thanksgiving or whatever it is that you guys want to do. And you guys are going to see that most of all the items that we purchased on that table are from Dollar Tree. There are a few things that we did purchase at Michael's, and there's a few things that we did purchase at Ross, but for the majority part of the actual decoration, we did purchase everything else at Dollar Tree. So it's really inexpensive. You guys just have to really know how to shop around, look around, and make some things of your own like we did in our previous video, the little napkin rings. If you guys didn't check that out, definitely check that one out. It'll show you guys how to make a really, really simple napkin ring that will have a big impact, and it's very little material that is needed. So without wasting any more time, like I said, boo-boos, let's get down to dirty boo-boos, and I will see you in a bit. Alrighty then, my little crafty monsters, let's get down and dirty and make these little bad boys right here. So these are the frames that we are going to be using, as well as this wooden frame that we're going to use as the base. And we are also using this white paint. The white paint is a little matte color, so it's going to look kind of chalky, which is kind of the look that I want. I was going to go ahead and make this look a little bit more distressed by hitting it with some sandpaper, but I forgot to purchase that sandpaper, so we're going to go ahead and just distress it before we put it onto the table. So you guys will see that it is going to look a little bit different once we start doing the tablescape tomorrow. And so right here we're just going to go ahead and take all of the glass out and all the backings of these frames because all we need is just the frame part itself, and we're going to go ahead and just paint all of this white. Now we're going to go ahead and prepare our little area right here, and I like to use like the advertisements that you guys normally get from the mail. Those are perfect for when you're painting. It's just a recycle. And then I also use some freezer paper by Reynolds, and the reason why I use that is because it really holds on to liquids from actually bleeding through any paper, and so it kind of just protects it. That's that slick surface that you guys see in the very top. And so all I'm going to do is just go ahead and paint these little bad boys. Now I'm not really going to worry too much about making sure that these are completely white because, like I said, I do want the kind of distressed look, so I want them to look a little bit weathered, like they've been around for a while. And I like doing that a lot to a lot of my items that I do because, I don't know, I just like them to look like they've already had a little life in them before I got them. And so, like I said, I'm not really going to focus so much about making this very perfect. And as you guys will notice as well too, I don't even paint the inside of this this little lantern that we're making. And the reason why I don't paint the inside of the frames is because I kind of like that little brown look that's kind of peeping through the inside part. And then also too, because like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of like distress this. So you guys are going to see some distressing on this once we put this on the table. And so it actually took about 2 coats to kind of get a really good decent coat onto these little frames. And that's the reason why, is because they already have kind of like a little shine, a little slick surface on them. So I felt that in order to cover that really good, with 2 coats was enough. Now, if you're going to be making this lantern and you want it to be like completely bright white, you're probably going to have to do a few more coats than just doing the 2 coats. You might have to do about 3 or 4 just to make sure that they're, you know, that they're really painted. But anywho, so right here, these are already dried from the paint, and all I'm doing is I'm just adding a little bit of E6000 onto the frame part, and I'm going to go ahead and add the glass onto these little bad boys. Now, you guys notice that I did leave the little tabs in there. Those tabs, I left them in there on purpose, and that was so that it's holding that glass pretty snug. And then once it dries, I'm going to go ahead and just get some pliers, and I'm going to go ahead and just pull those tabs out so you guys don't see those anymore. But for this purpose, I'm going to go ahead and just leave them there just so that they can hold the glass until it dries. You're probably also not going to see that part on the video because I will end up doing this a little bit before we do the tablescape. So just so you guys know that this is the centerpiece for my Thanksgiving dinner table. And so there is going to be another video that's you guys are going to see where I'm going to use this on. So you guys definitely stay tuned for that. That will be coming out tomorrow. So anywho, we're going to go ahead and just add some glue and some hot glue, some E6000 and some hot glue on the edges. And I'm going to go ahead and just try to attach one of these little panels. Now, they're going to be a little bit wonky. Don't worry about that. And that's one of the reasons why I ended up using that little wooden frame with the heart. We're going to go ahead and use that as a base because it's also going to help secure and make it not so wobbly. It was like the perfect little size. Now, 2 of the frames are not going to touch that little heart frame. You guys are going to notice this if you guys are doing this. The frame, this lantern, is a little tiny bit bigger than that wooden heart frame, but 2 of the frames do touch while the other ones don't. It's kind of hard to explain it. You guys will see, or I'll explain it as I do it. But anywho, right here I'm using tape. A lot of people just basically glue this, and I guess I don't know what kind of glue they use, but I'm assuming that they use something a little bit quicker curing, because on the steps on Pinterest I didn't see them use any tapes. But anyway, right here I'm using tape just so that it doesn't move. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit that with some more hot glue on the inside part because you're not really going to be able to see that. And I'm going to go ahead and try to make sure that that's going to hold into place. Now, I have to hold this a little bit until the hot glue cures a little because it, like I said, it's a little bit wonky and it's a little off. But don't worry, guys, we are going to be making this into a straight little box once all of the panels are together, and then we go ahead and attach that onto that actual base that we made for it. Now, I know that base has a heart in the middle, but you're not really going to see that. Nobody's going to notice it. We're going to throw some fall leaves on the very bottom of that, and then we're going to throw the candles on top of that. So it's going to cover all that, so you don't have to really worry too much about that. And so right here, I'm just going to go ahead and add glue on the last frame. And I'm going to go ahead and add it on both sides so that it will attach to those 2 frames and make a complete square. Now, this is the way that I'm doing the lantern. I know that there's so many different other ways that you guys could do the lantern, but this is just the way that I've decided to do it. So go ahead and just glue these little bad boys, and then we will have to wait about a few hours until these guys get cured. I'm just wrapping them with this blue painter's tape because I just want this to hold them together, and it's also kind of like applying a little bit of pressure onto the lantern. And so once this is dry, we're going to go ahead and just glue this little bad boy onto this base that we made for it. Now remember, I told you only 2 of the frames are actually touching the base. That's why you only see me putting glue on two sides of this little base. You can see that there's a little gap right there on the top and the bottom part, and it's kind of like a little hairline, but hey, you know, you gotta just go with the flow. And so I'm using these little plastic dies that I put on top of it just to give it a little bit more pressure and so that it cures. And now that it's all cured, we can go ahead and take off all of the painter's tape from this little lantern, and we are going to go ahead and decorate this little bad boy. So this little lantern, I am going to decorate it on only 2 corners, and I'm just going to kind of like, I'm not really too 100% sure what I'm doing with this. I know that I do want to add some deco mesh, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut 2 strips of this deco mesh, and I'm just going to kind of go with the flow. And so I'm just using this little ruler just so that I can go ahead and cut this straight. And we're going to go ahead and just use that little ribbon. You guys will see right now. Once we start putting this little bad boy together, you guys are going to notice that it's just going to come together. It's really easy to make, you guys. I mean, you guys can make this for any kind of occasion. If you guys need some centerpieces for like a party that you guys are doing, or maybe you guys are going to also do a dinner party or Thanksgiving dinner or even a Christmas dinner, whatever it is, guys. All you have to do is just decorate this according to the theme that you guys are making, and just paint the little frames to whatever color that you guys are going to go ahead and paint them. Now, you guys can notice that this lantern, the frames are kind of offset. That frame is kind of glued on the inside of that, the inside of those 2 other frames, but you're never going to notice that because we are going to decorate the corners. That is the good thing about doing this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just glue this, and I'm going to kind of do it like in a little right left, just so that it kind of looks like this little deco mesh is swagging kind of, you know, just on the corner of this little frame. And so I'm going to go ahead and just go all the way across, all the way up to the very top. And then once we are on the top, we're just going to go ahead and just swag it kind of a little bit towards the top of this frame. You guys will notice it's kind of hard to explain it, guys, but that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just kind of like making it look like it's just flowing, that deco mesh is flowing onto the little frame. And this is really easy to do, guys. You guys could go ahead and skip this part. Sorry about my phone, it was going off. And so this is what I was talking about, that I'm going to go ahead and just attach it to the very top, and I'm just going to go ahead and let that kind of like swag to the end the way it is. I'm not even going to worry about cutting that or tucking that in anywhere. I just want it to kind of look like it's a very whimsical kind of magical thing happening right here on the corners. And so we are also going to be adding some flowers, and we will also be adding a little bit of these cute little cottons that we purchased from Z Michaels, just to kind of give it a little farmhouse feel. And so we are almost done with gluing this little deco mesh. Once we go ahead and finish gluing this, we are going to go ahead and be able to decorate this little bad boy with the flowers. And it's really easy, guys. It goes really quick. I mean, there's really nothing to it. I mean, because there's really not too much space to work with. I mean, any little flowers or any little thing that you guys add onto this, it basically will kind of like cover it pretty good. So go ahead and just decorate it however it is that you guys would love to decorate. This is just the way I wanted to do it. On the other corners, we're going to go ahead and just make it look like these little berries are kind of like falling down. And we're also going to use some fall leaves. Now, you can't have a Thanksgiving dinner without having fall leaves. So, I mean, we are definitely using some fall leaves for this little bad boy right here. And so we are On the tablescape, when we do that, we are going to actually use some real leaves as well as some silk fall leaves. And we are going to kind of like decorate it pretty cute. And I'm trying to keep with all the same colors. So we're just doing a lot of yellows and reds and oranges and golds and stuff like that. And we're just going to go ahead and just keep those colors because of the fact that that is also the colors that we use for the actual placement cards, and also for the little lanterns that we basically made. But if you guys have seen that video where we made a lantern for the dinner table, we're gonna go ahead and just not use that. I put that onto one of the coffee tables, and so it's just a decor there. But we're going to use this one instead. I decided to make a real lantern and not just out of paper, so that's what we're doing here. And I'm just adding, like I said, some fall leaves just to give it a little pop of color. And then this is my way of also using the little leaves here and there in between the flowers. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, which is super fun and super easy. I mean, you can't really see this, guys, because it's standing up, but from the side view, the way I'm looking at it, it is super duper cute. And this is those little berries or little, I don't know what these are, honestly. We're going to call them fall balls. So we're going to go ahead and use these little fall balls. And we're going to go ahead and just kind of make them look like they're drooping off to the very corner of that little lantern. And don't really worry about that stem part, because that stem part, we're going to go ahead and put a flower there. So you guys will basically hide that. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side, because I kind of want it to go uniformed with the, you know, all the corners. So I'm just holding it down right here because I'm just giving the hot glue a chance to kind of cure a little bit. And now that we have that, we're just going to go ahead and add a few flowers. I'm not going to go too crazy on the flowers, honestly, to tell you the truth. But I do want to add enough flowers to where I'm kind of like hiding some of those glue parts where the mesh meets the frame. And so that's how I'm covering that up, is by adding some of these little flowers onto there. And you guys will see. It's actually pretty easy, and it comes out to look really, really cute. I'm using all the flowers that we use for our wreath. If you guys saw a video of me making a fall wreath, these are just the leftovers. And that's the great part about when you're making projects and you're buying stuff from like Z Dollar Tree or Michael's and stuff like that. These floral picks, like, you know, you don't even have to use a lot of flowers, but it does fill up pretty quickly. And so you get to have leftovers. And when you have leftovers, well, you get to, you know, make other projects with it. And so that's how we're going to do it. We're just going to go ahead and leave it like this. I want it to be kind of plain and simple, and I don't want to add too much stuff onto this. And so we are going to add some of these little leaves to the very bottom part of that inside. And that's just to give the inside a little bit more color as well. And then we will be using some candles to put on top of these. So, you know, you won't really see it too much. And so we're going to go ahead and just move these little bad boys. And we're basically like completely done, guys. Like, this little guy was super duper easy to make. These are the little cottons that we're using. I don't know, I just thought they were kind of cute, and they kind of gave it like that little farmhouse kind of look. And it's just it makes it look organic, is what I'm trying to say. And so this is basically it. This is what I pictured, and it's pretty sturdy, and we're gonna go ahead and use this as a centerpiece to our Thanksgiving dinner. There you go, guys. Welcome back, my little crafty monsters. That's how easy it was to make this little lantern right here on our little dinner table. It is beautiful. It came out so nice. I'm actually pretty excited on how it came out, and I love the fact that I'm able to display that on the center of my table as a centerpiece. Well, part of the big old centerpiece. And you guys are definitely going to be excited on how that's going to look on our table. So stay tuned for the next video on our tablescape and how to set our table for Thanksgiving, and you guys will be able to see everything put together. All of the stuff that we have been making are going to come to life. So I hope you guys enjoy that video as much as I enjoy making it for you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead and hit that little icon. It's a picture of moi, and we come BFFFFFs, because I know BFs is good. I know it is, boo-boo. But BFFFF is even better, and I know you guys want to be my BFF, so hit that little icon. Well, his head does look like a little bell, doesn't it, boo-boo? But what I meant was hit that little icon of me, and we become BFFs. And also, since you're already there, my little crafty monsters, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, because that will help our channel grow. And also go ahead and hit that little bell icon, because that bell icon is for you guys. That's so you guys don't be missing out on any new content, because I know you guys don't want to be missing out. And also share and tell a friend, because your friends also need to know how fabulous these videos are. And that's it for now, my little crafty monsters. Until next time, goodbye.